A co-founder of a Black Lives Matter chapter in Rhode Island says that Donald Trump has done more for black folks than any other president, and actually he is the choice. Mark Fisher is that individual. Mark joins us right now on the show. Mark, glad to have you here. So first and foremost, when you made an assessment about this campaign, and you basically said nobody is good.
That's right.
Okay, explain.
Well, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Everybody else sucks, I said, to quote myself. And, you know, when you look at who we have sitting in the White House right now, I said he's a deep disappointment. He's let me down. He's let my community down. The whole Democratic Party is a complete disappointment. And I think that as an independent, I will endorse Donald Trump as the best candidate that we have.
Why is he the best?
Well, because he's somebody who I would consider a strong man. I consider him somebody who would give us respect on the world stage.
You say we don't have respect on the world stage?
I feel like it's waning. I feel like
it's what?
I feel like it's when we have somebody like Joe Biden as the head of state representing us globally, I don't think it's the same as if it's Donald Trump representing us.
President Joe Biden was able to pull back the NATO coalition, which Donald Trump actually splintered during his 4 years. That played a role in terms of what we see happening with Ukraine and Russia. We have also seen, again, European leaders talk about his leadership. So explain that, because obviously international leaders except for the dictators, they had a totally different view of the foreign policy of the United States under Trump and Biden.
Well, fundamentally, they both come from a different perspective. When you look at somebody like Donald Trump, he's America first. Make America great again. Joe Biden is a globalist from a globalist camp.
How is Trump America make it great again when, if you look at Donald Trump, even before he got in, he's been doing business all across the country, doing Saudi Arabia, doing China, and all of his deals since he got out of the White House. So how is he a Make America First when that's not how he's operated in his business all of these years?
Okay, well, when you look at the persecution that he's facing, 91 felonies, 91.
So what, you say he should have been indicted?
That's not what I said. I said,
No, you call it persecution, so which means that he is being targeted. How is he being persecuted?
Well, Letitia James ran on getting Trump. That was her whole campaign motto. We're gonna get Trump. Am I wrong?
The judge in New York has already ruled against them, that they actually were inflating the value of their property.
Okay.
Now the trial is going on. No, but you said he's being persecuted. How is he being persecuted? Is he being persecuted in Georgia, where 3 of his attorneys, they actually have already pled guilty in that particular case for their role in the 2020 presidential election in Georgia?
Yes, they did. They pled guilty.
Right. So how's he being persecuted, though?
Because they're trying to use them to get him.
No. How is he being persecuted? Did he not, based upon, according to District Attorney Fonnie Willis, that Donald Trump tried to get officials in Georgia to, frankly, change the results of the election?
Look, I could get you to jump off a bridge or to try to jump off a bridge. And if you jump off a bridge, am I responsible?
Okay, you do know he's on tape calling the Secretary of State saying, find me 11,000 votes. He tried to pressure the governor, the Secretary of State, the head of the elections. So that's just one particular case as well. In the documents case, they asked him to return the documents. He refused to do so. He lied to his own attorneys about that. He told one of his employees, who is now flipped, do not move those documents. So I'm trying to understand, say he's being persecuted. If an individual committed acts, that's on them. So how is he being persecuted?
Because they're trying to use them to get him.
No, not them. I'm asking you again. If the federal government, if they say these are classified documents, you are to return them, he says no. And they say, we have a subpoena. He ignores the subpoena. When he tells his attorneys took actual notes.
Okay, well, hold on.
No. You said
hold on.
it's being persecuted.
Wait a minute.
And that's just 2 cases.
91 felonies. You can't even keep up with all the felonies. You can't even track all the cases across the country.
Actually, you can't.
And the charges that he's facing. You have to take them one at a time. There's so many. They're coming fast and furious.
Actually, we can track them. But again, though, if an individual believes that he is above the law and he's not, if he committed crimes, then he should be prosecuted. Yes or no?
Nobody's above the law. That's not the question. The question is, did he commit crimes?
Well, first of all, that's why they're trials.
That's the question.
Well, first of all, that's why they're trials.
Right, exactly. So, but when you talk about somebody who's acting on their constitutional right.
What constitutional right?
Freedom of speech.
Is there a constitutional right to overthrow an election?
He believes, and as many do, that there was some suspect activity involved in the 2020 election.
How many lawsuits did his campaign file, and how many did they win?
So, but what I'm saying,
asking you a question.
I don't know. What I'm saying is
I can give the answer. More than 60 lawsuits were filed. They lost them. Courts, Trump judges, Republican governors, Republican Secretary of States certified the election results. Now, here's the question. I'm confused. If there was election irregularities in Georgia, how did the Republican governor win? The Republican lieutenant governor, the Republican Secretary of State. How did Republicans win all statewide offices in Georgia in 2020, but this one race, there were problems?
I'm going to tell you.
How?
Because they're all part of the same deep state.
Corrupted. I'm confused. I'm confused.
Let me finish.
Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, endorsed Trump, correct or not?
They're all part.
I'm asking you a question. Did the Republican governor, Brian Kemp, endorse Trump?
I don't know.
Yes, he did. Did the Republican lieutenant governor endorse Trump?
I don't know.
Did the Republican Secretary of State endorse Trump? Yes. So again, I'm confused here. All of these Republicans endorsed Donald Trump, yet all these Republicans won. He didn't. He's saying, oh, it's fraud.
So, like I said, when you look at the government, both parties.
Oh, no. See, again, you
Democrat and Republican.
You mentioned persecution, and there were 4 cases. You mentioned
especially the Democratic Party.
You mentioned 91 indictments.
It's a smorgasbord of BS.
You still, but hold up. You say let's take it case by case.
Suspect behavior and activity.
I'm taking it case by case.
Both parties.
No. I'm taking it.
I mean, he's anti-institution.
Mark, you say
that's the problem that people have with him. That's the problem James has with him. That's the problem Bragg has with him. That's the problem Smith has with him. And that's the problem Willis has with him. That he is anti everything they love.
No, he's not.
Institution.
No, he's
They're
not.
very comfortable, right? And rightfully so. I'm not here to bash them or hate on them. God bless them. I love them.
But what you're doing is making stuff up.
What am I?
So again, no. You say it out of your mouth. He was being persecuted. You mentioned the 91 indictments. You mentioned the 4 different cases. I walk you through 2 of those. The judge has already ruled that Donald Trump and the Trump organization absolutely inflated their assets, which is against the law. Donald Trump's own accountants testified that they actually inflated. He even inflated the size of his own penthouse.
I just don't understand how people can't think for themselves. You got all these zombies walking around. You're telling me you got all these people walking that can't think for themselves, doing whatever's in their best interest for their own expedience and their careers. But every time it happens, it comes back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Throw him in prison. Take all his assets. Throw him under the bus. Take him off the ballots. Like. You don't think people can see this?
So what you're saying is
this is anti-American.
No, what you're saying is actually no, because there's a sign above the Supreme Court. It says equal justice under law. What you're saying is you don't mind a liar. What you're saying is you don't mind somebody making.
What did he lie about?
Donald Trump lied about the value of his assets. Donald Trump has lied about not trying to overturn.
Can I say something?
Hold on, Mark, I'm not done.
On that point, I just want to say, because you said he lied about the value of his assets. You're saying that he lied, his people are lying for him all the time. So what I'm saying is, if he's asking for 11,000 votes, if they're doing that, if he's asking people to make his property as lucrative and as attractive as possible, And these people are doing it, right? They're doing it. Whether they're doing it or not, that is their own personal business and choice to do that. If he says, I'm looking for 11,000 votes,
you're absolutely,
I know people who have reached out to me, black people, who tell me that there has been all kind of fishy business going on.
And Mark,
double voting, triple, quadruple,
and you're right
quintuple voting. No, I can tell you, people are reaching out to me, telling me they can call him Bill, William, Willis, so on and so forth. And the Democratic elected.
So you say
oversight.
You say, oh my God, I see double voting.
That's what people are telling me.
But the Republicans in Georgia.
So I'm just saying.
Mark, wait a minute, Mark.
There's reason.
I'm going to finish, Mark.
There's reasonable doubt.
I'm going to finish. No, it's not. No, it's
That's
not.
all I'm saying.
When you have,
and you can't blame him for that. That's protected under our First Amendment right.
Are you literally making this up as you go along?
So we don't have protected rights.
You do know. You do know.
We don't have the right freedom of speech.
You do know.
We don't have the right to access the courts. We don't have the right to keep ourselves quiet.
You cannot seize ballots.
We don't have the right
to cannot seize voting
not be
machines.
siege insurgent, to not be violent. We have rights in this country. And that's one of them, to speak our mind. Assembly.
Mark,
we have these rights.
Speaking your mind and lying. Aren't you a pastor?
I have a background in theology.
Okay, you got a what in theology?
A background in theology.
A background in theology.
Mm-hmm.
Does the
I've never been a pastor.
Okay,
I preached. I taught Bible study.
Question. Yeah. Okay, fine. So does the Bible,
I have a degree in theology.
That you actually read, what does it say about lying?
It said all lies will find their place in the pit of hell with fornicators, homosexuals, liars, and all ungodly form.
Well, that must mean Donald Trump is sitting on a throne in hell, because that man has just lied about numerous things.
Well, listen.
But hold up. I'm gonna ask you this question. You said that Trump has done more for the black community than any president. What has he done?
He's done a lot.
Name it.
Actually.
Name it.
And I'm surprised that most people don't really know.
No, I'm asking you to name it.
Okay.
Name it.
I'm going to. For starters, because this is important as an educated man, and $250 million annually has been allocated to HBCUs, which is big because I went to Hampton. No, it's not a lie. No, it's not a lie.
Stop. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
And minority serving schools.
I'm sorry.
But it's all together. It's for people of color.
Let me ask you a question, Mark.
90 million of it went to black schools.
Mark,
and not only that,
Mark, let me ask you a question.
It was about to be expired. He took the initiative to not let it expire. And not only that,
Mark, you're wrong.
Give it a 10-year
stay
where it was being done every year. He said, why do we have to keep coming back every year to get money?
Mark, what you just said right now is a lie.